Hi guys, and welcome back to Clearview Driving. Today I'm doing a mock test with Anisha. Now this is the first time we're driving together and you've not done a driving test before.
Nope.
And you've been learning to drive for just over a year, you said?
Just under a year.
Just under a year. So you've had your fair share of instructors, you said?
Yeah.
And your test is in about just under a month, isn't it now?
A couple of weeks.
About 2 weeks now. Alright, so you kind of know what's involved in a mock test? Okay, so throughout the drive, I want you to follow the road ahead. Whenever I need you to turn, I will tell you in plenty of time. If I don't say anything, keep going straight. If you're not sure where you're going, you can ask. I'm going to give you 10 minutes of independent driving, which is where I'm going to give you a series of directions to kind of follow. And if you kind of forget, you can always ask.
Okay.
Alright, we're going to do one manoeuvre and we may also carry out the emergency stop, similar to everything you've already been practicing with your instructor. Okay. Alright, now before we get started, I'm going to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
Could you tell me about... I've lost my question.
I forgot about this part.
Alright, could you tell me, how would you check that your brakes are working?
So you apply the brake firmly, and you've got to, I think you've got to make sure that they don't feel slack, or there's a word, they don't feel slack.
Okay. That's how you can test the brakes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now for anyone that's new to the channel, don't forget to like the video, comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now Anisha, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so whenever you're ready, let's start the engine.
Okay.
And then we'll drive off from here.
The button.
Yeah. You'll see throughout the drive that Anisha has a bit of a bad habit of resting her left foot over on the clutch while driving. You shouldn't put your foot in this position, as this does result in the clutch plates burning up over time. You should rest your left foot on the left side of the clutch.
It's a far bigger car than I'm used to.
It's actually not that big.
Is it not?
No.
It feels massive.
Alright, at the end of the road, let's turn right please. Hi guys, and thank you very much for all your support. If you enjoy watching this content and actually learned something along the way, don't forget to like the video, share with anyone that may be learning to drive, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for all your support. When emerging right out of this T-junction, Anisha should also have been watching the driver that's opposite us, as they were already on the main road and they were waiting to move off. They did wait for us on this occasion, but sometimes they may not notice you approaching. So always look right ahead, left ahead, right. Turn left please. Of the road, turn right please. As we emerged out of this next T-junction, Anisha goes into second gear a bit too quickly. We weren't fast enough to be in second gear, so the car initially struggles with the gear change. Most of the area is 20 miles per hour. Anisha is up to the speed of the road, but she's using second gear, which isn't great for fuel efficiency. When driving in second gear, the revs are around 2,000 revs at this point. If you were driving in third gear, the revs would be around 1.2, so about 1,200. It's better to be in a higher gear so that you have better fuel efficiency, especially when driving on open roads like this. Thank you. Drive when you're ready.
Okay.
At the roundabout, turn left. It's the first exit. Anisha's got a really good speed on approach to this roundabout. This gives her enough time to slow, look and keep moving without needing to stop unnecessarily. So shortly we're going to start the independent driving from here. Okay. I'd like you to follow signs to Heathrow. As we're going forward, the vehicle in front of us now starts indicating that they're parking on this road. But there is a bus on a bus stop directly in front of them, so Anisha doesn't realise that the learner is stopping on this road, so she waits behind them. She does get marked down for response to other road users for this, as there was enough space to get round. The learner in front doesn't wait there for too long, so this doesn't give her a serious fault, but she should have been prepared to go around them. Leading up to the hazard ahead, Anisha does check her mirrors, but she doesn't indicate to go around the lorry. It's a good idea to indicate, that way drivers in front, behind and anyone in the lorry knows that you're intending to go around. Up to this point, all of the roads have been 20 miles per hour and Anisha's been driving between 17 to 19 miles per hour in second gear the whole time. She does start to make good progress along this road, but then gets to around 30, 32 and continues driving along that speed for much of this road, which is way too slow as it is a 40 miles per hour road. So we're causing vehicles to overtake us at this point. This does not go down as a serious fault, as her speed is fluctuating and there's not a lot of traffic behind us, so this is not a major fault at the moment. On approach to this roundabout, Anisha slows down really well, going through her gears and selects the left lane to follow the road ahead. This will put her in a good position to take the normal driving position in the new road. Anisha does this roundabout really well, sticking to the outskirts and signals left to exit. There's a 50 miles per hour gateway sign ahead. That is the new speed limit as we're going forward. Again, she does start to make progress, but she only really gets up to about 37 miles per hour. And then as we're coming up to the exit, she slows down even more, causing her to get a serious fault for progress appropriate speed. We're going to follow signs to Hillingdon from here. Travelling on a 50 miles per hour road and driving up to about 37 is way too slow, as this causes everyone in this lane to have to overtake us. As we're going forward, Anisha slows down even more, slowing down to about 30 miles per hour while still on the carriageway. You'll have a long slip road in order to slow down, so she should not have slowed down to this speed at this road. Driving 10 miles per hour or so under the speed limit, you become a hazard on the road, so everyone has to now overtake you and come out of this lane, so it's not safe driving at that speed as the road is very clear. Leading up to this roundabout, to turn right third exit, you can use the middle or the far right lane. Anisha uses the middle lane as this will put her in a better position to take the exit. Starting in the third lane would not be an issue, as this would take you to your exit, but you'll just be in the overtaking lane on the exit. Anisha does start to go into the wrong lane, but realises and starts checking her mirrors and safely switches back into the correct lane. This is not an issue as long as it's safe to do so. From now on. Okay. So shortly we're going to be making a right turn at the second set of traffic lights. Turn right.
So this one here?
The second set. This is the first. So we're going to be turning right, okay?
Okay.
To change lanes at this position, Anisha should have focused on getting up to the speed of the road and then switching over, which would make it a lot easier to switch lanes. The van that was behind us tries to move into the overtaking lane as we're going too slowly. When they realise we're switching lanes, they gave way. So this does go down as a minor fault for progress appropriate speed again, which is a bit of a habitual fault at this point, that Anisha does drive too slowly. As we enter this new road, there's a 30 miles per hour speed limit. Anisha continued driving up to 20 miles per hour, giving her a serious fault. Now she's got a habitual fault for driving too slowly, as she's had various minors for doing the same thing over and over. Now at this point she does realise it's a 30 miles per hour speed limit, but she only really gets up to about 24-25 miles per hour. Even when the road is nice and clear and there's nothing going on, this would still give you a minor fault for going too slowly. If there are hazards about and you go a little bit slower than the speed limit, that's not an issue. But when the road is really clear and there's nothing going on and you continue driving too slow, this will be a hazard. always use the bus lane as it's the position for normal driving if you're outside of the hours of operation. So this bus lane reads Monday to Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 7 p.m. and we're outside of that time at the moment.
I don't know what to step on the road like that, but...
Alright, coming up to the next roundabout, I'd like you to take the third exit towards Greenford. Leading up to the roundabout, Anisha should have tried to change lanes much earlier as she realised quite early on that she was taking the third exit. She does use her mirrors, but she's not indicating and she's not trying to move over. At the point she does try and move over, there is a vehicle quite close behind her. They did have to adjust their speed for us, so this did go down as a fault. Leading up to the roundabout, Anisha gets a serious fault for use of mirrors change direction as she's going forward in the right-hand lane. Just before the roundabout, she suddenly drifts into the left-hand lane without checking mirrors or signalling. As we enter the roundabout, Anisha does stay in the correct lane and follows it really nicely, but it's a good idea to check the left mirror in case of anybody from the left who may be straight lining the roundabout. As the lane we're in is already signposted for Greenford, you simply need to stick to this lane and go towards the exit. Once you're on the exit, you can merge. Anisha initially tried switching lanes and this was a bit confusing as there was a vehicle on our left who hesitated because she did signal in front of them. But as she didn't actually move over, this was not an issue. As we're coming off the roundabout in the overtaking lane, Anisha gets a serious fault for progress. When the traffic lights go green, she's picking up speed too slowly, causing everyone that's in our lane to move into the left-hand lane to overtake us. She's coming off the roundabout around 10 miles per hour and she's trying to move back into the left, all the while everyone on the left is trying to speed up. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'd like you to forward park into a space of your choice. Just make sure you finish within the bay. Okay, forward park into a space of your choice.
On the left or the right?
You pick.
Okay.
1 second.
Can I see this up?
Yeah, you can check if you like.
Oh no. I have a quick question. Can I ask a question or do I not ask?
Yeah, you can ask
You know,
questions.
if it's just outside at the back, is it not in then?
If the tyres are in, you're in.
The tyres are in. Are they in? I don't know. Can't remember.
Alright, when you're ready, let's reverse out of here.
As you can tell, that's like my scariest manoeuvre. Okay.
Alright, when you're ready, let's go. It's a one-way system, yeah?
Oh, is it one way?
Yep.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, so I do that way.
Coming up to this traffic light junction, it splits into 2 lanes, but just on the other side it merges straight away. Anisha does really well to use her mirrors when merging lanes, and she's also making good progress at this time.
Road when there's a zebra crossing literally not far from you.
Pedestrians, they're quite lazy, aren't they? Again, Anisha demonstrates really good observation on this roundabout. She's looking ahead, looking across to the right, and also steering towards the left to get a good position to start this turn. She waits for a nice gap and then enters the roundabout safely. Yeah, just in that space there, on the road, okay. Okay. Over to the side of it. Just take it off the pavement a little bit.
Off the pavement?
Yeah, it's fine, just leave it there. It's fine. Never go on the pavement, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Not unless the examiner specifies.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Whenever...
I thought you meant the space, as in, like, I thought the grey part was the space.
Yeah, no, there are spaces, but I just wanted you to park on them.
Okay, right.
Alright, secure the car. And switch off the engine. Alright, thank you. Just give me a few minutes. That's the end of your driving test.
Woohoo!
Alright, that's the end of your test. How was your drive?
It was okay. There were a couple of things I could have done better.
Okay, would you say there were any serious faults?
So I know that in the second last roundabout, I was in the wrong lane. I was not in the preferable lane. You know how it's like you can take 2. One is the best option. The second one, you've got to be more careful because you're going to be joining on. Yeah. So I ended up in the wrong lane, but I kind of like stuck with it, and when it was safe, I got through. So I think I dealt with it.
That roundabout wasn't an issue. No.
I know that the Hillingdon one, I wasn't sure which lane I was meant to be in.
In terms of your roundabouts, you were fine.
Was that okay with roundabouts? Okay.
There is a bigger concern.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
You drive too slow.
Too slow.
Too slow.
Oh.
So unfortunately it would have been a fail because there are so many occasions where you're just under the speed limit.
Oh.
So when we went onto that carriageway, you know where it was 40?
Yeah.
You said, oh, it's 40, and I thought, great, she's going to get on with it. Because before
And
that, we're kind of
I think I
twiddling
did
along.
35 or something.
You did 35 at most.
Yeah.
And then you brought it back down to about 30, 32, and I was like, this is a bit slow.
Oh.
No one was around us at the time, so it wasn't a major concern.
But if there were other cars, it would have been dangerous.
Yeah, and then we went forward and it was 50. What speed did you do when it was 50? The highest you went up to was 37. And then when I said, oh, we're going to take the exit kind of coming off at Hillingdon, it's still 50.
Yeah.
And we're about 27.
Yeah.
And this is when you said, oh, I've signalled a bit early. And I thought the signal's not that bad because we're supposed to be travelling at 50.
That speed you would have.
So the signal timing was fine. It was just you're just driving too fast. There were so many separate occasions besides that where other cars behind us are just having to go round you all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what made the drive too dangerous. So you've got various minors on going too slow, and then serious and kind of a dangerous one on going too slow as well.
Slow.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like overall safety wise, really good. You're always checking your mirrors, you're always aware of your surroundings. But you know that roundabout you were talking about, where you said, oh, I'm in the wrong lane. Yeah, you know, you're in the overtaking lane, but that lane did exit.
Yeah, so it was still
it was fine.
The wrong lane. Yeah.
But because you were thinking, oh, I need to be in that lane, you were going 10, 11, and now everyone that was in your lane is going, oh my god, let's overtake. And they're going round you.
Yeah, I saw someone shaking his head behind me and I was like, sorry.
So yeah, you're just driving too slow. That was literally the biggest concern for me.
Yeah.
Besides that, there was one lane change. This was coming up to White Hart roundabout when you were taking the third exit for Greenford.
Yeah.
You were in the bus lane, which is fine. You were using the bus lane. You checked your mirrors and there's a car next to you and you kind of tried to make a move.
Yeah, I was going to, then I saw that car was not.
He was quite close.
Yeah.
So you chose not to move over, which is great. You kind of held off and then he held his position and you moved over. So you only got a minor on that account. But then you moved over and now the roundabout's coming and you've drifted back into the left lane again. And then you moved over again. That's where your serious fault came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
So you know that Greenford one, I always get confused. Are you meant to be in the... Wait, no, hang on. White Hart.
So your exit is after 12 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Just start on the right.
Start completing the right, yeah. Because I think I was in the middle-ish
You
lane.
started on the right.
Okay,
You did.
right.
And then as you entered, you were in the correct lane.
Yeah.
You were following the correct lane. Your path was correct the whole time once you entered.
Yeah.
It was the initial, oh, where am I? And you kind of moved around.
Yeah.
That's where you got your serious fault.
Man.
Okay? But besides that, let's talk about a few of the other things going on. Not a lot going on besides that. Just, honestly, it was just your speed. There was one encounter right at the beginning. There was like a little learner car in front of us and there was a bus. And that learner actually stopped.
Yeah.
They did. Now, were they parked or were they waiting? Were they waiting for the bus?
They were still on the road though. They were like.
Yeah, it was a really weird spot for them to actually park.
It didn't look like they parked because
They
we would have
didn't.
thought that they would have been to the
Close,
left. But they were like. And I think she was
fine.
thinking about whether to overtake or not. So I just kind of waited
So
behind.
yeah, no, that one there didn't give you a serious fault because they weren't exactly in the correct position, and plus the bus was there, and you know, but they did signal to get to that position. So you should be thinking, wait, did that mean they're parking? And actually, they were parked.
Oh, did they signal to left to park?
Yeah.
Oh right. How slow is so 23, 24, 30 is too slow?
You've got to think. Okay, if you're on a nice open road,
Yeah.
and there are no hazards, and it's 30,
Yeah.
drive 30.
Okay.
If you were driving like 28, 27 and then 28, 29, that's okay. I'm not gonna have an issue with that.
But 23, 24.
You're just down here and there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
But now if you take the same road but you scatter some hazards, you've got a crossing, you've got parked cars, you've got some pedestrians.
Yeah.
Now your speed is fine.
Yeah. But if it's clear and like.
Yeah, so the times where you've been marked down, it's clear and you're still too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
It's the initial, when you go from 0, getting to that speed is slow. Once you're there, you're kind of alright. And the other thing is you'd like to rest your left foot on the clutch the whole time.
Yeah.
You're just watching your left foot like, oh my god.
I was like,
why don't you want to take it off?
I don't know. I think I'm just in the habit of keeping it there. But then this car is higher up compared to my instructor's car. So I was like, wait, this is a bit uncomfortable. So I kept it here for a bit. But I was like, wait, but no, what if I need to change? Like, what if I need to change gear?
Yeah, you moved off in second gear a few times from stationary. So you don't like changing gears either. But the clutch control's good, so that saved you. Yeah?
Oh man.
Alright, so how was your mock test experience?
I'm so glad I did it. because my instructor kept saying you're not making progress, but now I see actually I could fail from going too slow.
Yeah, because it popped up so many times. There were points where I was thinking, oh, let me just tell her, and then I thought, if I tell her,
Then it's not really a mock test.
no, but at the end of the day, it could get to that point in the test where you're driving and you've made so many mistakes that the examiner's marked it as serious, and it's just like, all right, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
They'll actually get you to pick up the pace now because they need to get back for the next test.
Yeah.
That's how slow it got. Okay?
Gosh, yeah.
But it's alright, you've got time. You'll see this and you'll be able to kind of fix this.
I need to be... So the roundabouts was like...
Roundabouts were safe.
That was what I was most concerned about, and the bay parking.
Yeah.
But so the bay parking, I think most of the time I just do it with that, like I reverse that little shunt.
That's okay.
You get a minor for, don't you?
You did get a minor for that because you had to reverse, but you could have easily just started further left and driven in more and you had the space covered.
I don't know, there's a reference point that my instructor taught me, and I don't know, it works sometimes it doesn't work.
I'll give you a reference. I'm gonna go over these points, and we're gonna drive a little bit now anyway, so we'll fix some of this.
Okay. Sounds good.
Alright, so that's the end of our mock test today. Hopefully that video has been useful for you guys as well, and you can learn from some of Anisha's faults there. Don't drive too slow, guys. Alright, now don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and follow me on my socials. You've got TikTok and Instagram. I'll try and link it here. I'm really bad at this stuff, but yeah. Bye for now.